Hey y'all, good evening. 9/9/2020. I hope my message is finding you well. Tonight's message or topic, sidetracked or sidetrack. So what is sidetrack? My friend Merriam-Webster's got a few definitions, but we're going to narrow it down a little. Number one, to shunt aside as to a railroad siding. Number two, to turn aside from purpose or deflect. That's a good one. I think that's it. The next one is just to prevent action on by diversionary tactics. Sidetrack an issue. So what I'm talking about, though, is getting sidetracked from faith or faith in God. You know, we get in this thing to where maybe we don't pray or, something of them sorts. Something of our day has changed and we stop just to say hi or pray to God, start our day the right way. Anyway. So what are 5 ways to not get distracted? Get distracted from God. Number 1, give yourself allowance. You have a human mind that does human things. It gets distracted. It wanders about random people. It notices ancillary objects. It tallies up its list of to-dos. Don't hate yourself for getting off track. Just choose to get back on, right? Just lay it down to God. Open your arms. Accept Him. Allow that light to come into your life because His grace gets us through so much. Okay, number 2, go back to where you were last with God. For example, if you are reading the Bible and you find your mind has gone off another trail, return it back to where you last were. Pick up on that last place you remember being with God. Number 3, swap what you listen to. I watched a Nazi film last night. I couldn't think about God, nonetheless sleep. But on the nights I pray before bed, I go to bed thinking, dwelling at the peace with God. Sometimes you have to swap what you watch or partake in. Now, I tell you guys, now this is someone else's article. It's a good Christian article. Anyway, I tell you, just turn off the TV. There isn't anything good that you can take or learn. It just takes our time away like a vacuum cleaner running at a rampant rate. Just all kinds of time. And then we find ourselves in bed, right? And then we find ourselves achy and all kinds of other stuff that goes with it, right? But really, are we aching from being in bed, or are we aching because our body wants that light, wants that ability? Right? But that's why we walk in faith. We walk in faith to make sure we have strength when we need it, to where we don't have pains. Stuff like that. I mean, He does all kinds of awesome stuff. So number 4, ask for God's help to stay awake to Him. Then act like it's Christmas. Know that today God has something good for you and you don't want to miss it. Call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. That's awesome. All right, number 5, shut it all down. Literally, shut down your phone, your computer, and your active lifestyle. Pick a certain amount of time and call it off limits. Let no one, no how, no way encroach on that time with God. Then during this time, refer to the first 4 things. Give yourself allowance. Go back to where you last were with God. Swap what you listen to. Christian music, K-Love. I got K-Love on all the time. But I enjoy it. I enjoy just going down the road. It's positive. It's uplifting. So that's what I do. I listen to K-Love. Shout out to you guys over at K-Love. All right, so what does the Bible say about being sidetracked? Genesis, first chapter, 1 verse 30, or 1 through 31. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw that the light was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning the first day. God is amazing, right? He made the world in 6 days, and on the seventh rested. It's awesome. It's miraculous. Awesome. All right, Romans chapter 10, verse 9. Because if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. I talk about it all the time. You just got to know 1 and 2, right? God and Jesus. Well, you got to do the right thing too. That's what these videos are about. They're about getting right with ourselves, so we can receive all that glorious light that God has to give. And this is something that in my opinion, churches haven't been really teaching for a little while now. They're not directing you to that light. Not as much of them anyway. So for you that are still, keep pushing. That light is important. All right. I know there's so many of them because I see it every day. Churches aren't the same, right? I feel like they've taken advantage in some way, shape, or form, but at the direction of who? I'm getting off topic again. It doesn't matter. We're trying to be under light, right? But it's all things we think about. All right. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. If a man lies with a male as with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood is upon them. Wow. 1 John chapter 5, verse 7. For there are 3 that testify. 1 John chapter 5, verses 1 through 21. This says, everyone who believes that Jesus is the Christ has been born of God, and everyone who loves the Father loves whoever has been born of him. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and obey his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep in his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome. For everyone who has been born of God overcomes the world, and this is the victory that has overcome the world, our faith. Who is it that overcomes the world except the one who believes that Jesus is the Son of God? That's a good one. It's a long one, but a great one. All right, 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 3. His divine power has granted to us all things that pertain to life and godliness through the knowledge of him who called us to his own glory and excellence. We got to be the right people. We're not perfect. We're all sinners, right? So the most important thing that we can do, not only connect in our faith, not get sidetracked, not allow things, always be looking forward, right? Walking forward. In a forward direction, you experience new things. If you're going backwards, you run into your past. We don't want to see the past. Past to bring you fond memories, but we don't want to miss what God's got right in front of us. We might trip over it and not even realize what it is and walk right past it, right? The thing is I don't want any of us to miss anything. God's glory is phenomenal. And it's important that we have him in our lives, right? For any reason, for our family, for our faith, for our country. I mean, I could go on for a long time. But share this message tonight and join me tomorrow. Thank you all. I love you all. God bless our country. God bless you guys. God bless our president. See you tomorrow.